I'm really sorry, but the rest of this is going to be socks on socks on socks. Hey guys, it's Emily from A Rambling Yarn. This is a podcast where I talk about knitting, crocheting, random crafty things, and just like a lot of yarn, and I ramble on and on and on. If you like rambling, you're in the right place. If you have been with me for the past few episodes, thank you so much. Welcome back. If you're just joining me this time around, I'm really glad to have you here, and I hope that you stick with me and the rest of us who are on this wonderful, fun fiber journey. My last podcast, I think I did in maybe May. So it's been a while. During that time, my family and I were getting our house packed up and our little unit ready to move across state lines. We picked up in New Jersey and brought all our stuff and landed in Maine, the wonderful vacation land of Maine. And so far we have really loved it here, and it's been really great. And I mean, we've only been here for, I think next week it will be 2 months. So not terribly long, but long enough to settle in a bit, and it already feels very much so like home, and we are really enjoying it. One of the things though about moving is it's totally thrown me off of my groove. And a lot of my projects got kind of cast away to the wayside and put on hold because there's a lot of stuff that had to be done. So priorities. Anyways, so thank you so much for stopping back in to see how we are doing. So, we'll start off with works in progress. Let's see, I put this away for quite a while, and I'm really, really, really happy that I am finally kind of unpacked and settled enough that I can start back up on it. I'm pretty sure in my last podcast, if you watched, I had gotten the body done, and I was really excited to start working on a sleeve. Now, if you know me, you know that one of my really good friends is Bella of Bella's Custom Crochets, and she has her own podcast of the same name. And we actually did, we did a collaboration episode. I got to be a guest co-host with her while we were doing all of our crazy moving. We have both of our family, my husband and I, are originally from Connecticut. So on our way up from Jersey, because it's not like a straight shot in as far as getting into your house and getting your stuff. There's a couple of weeks usually in there where you're kind of in limbo because you have to wait on housing if you're going into government housing, which is provided by whatever branch of the military your family is with. For us, it's the Coast Guard. So we had a little bit of a wait before the house that we were being put into was ready. And then a longer wait even after that. I think it was about a week afterwards that our stuff even arrived. Fun stuff. Anyways, while we were in that limbo, we stayed with our family in Connecticut. And that's when I got to collaborate with my good friend Bella. And so I did show the progress of the sweater at that point on her podcast, and I had gotten a whole sleeve done, guys. A whole sleeve. So a couple weeks ago, I unpacked all of my yarny goodness and finally set to work on casting on that second sleeve. So here she is. Here's my Here's my finished sleeve. And here, yay! So I think, I want to say that I have like six sections of color work for the sleeve. So I just finished my first and I am on to my second here. And honestly, I just want to rave about this pattern. This is the Sanguine sweater by Morgan, who you can find on Instagram as @Morthunder. And all of her patterns, she mostly does color work patterns, and they are all just so beautiful and happy and colorful and very unique, and I just adore her as a person and I adore her patterns. So I was really happy to get back to working on this one. And I think because of the color work, this just flew by. So if I hadn't have taken a break with all the moving and stuff, this would have probably been done 2 months ago, which I think is pretty good as someone who's not a prolific knitter. I am not fast. I definitely knit for enjoyment. I mean, I also enjoy the finished product very much. I mean, there's a reason why I make the things, because I want to wear the things and use the things. But I enjoy the journey of getting them there to that end. So, isn't she pretty? Isn't she lovely? Yeah, so here's my sweater. I'm hoping to have it done. I'm not going to say by the end of this month. As of now, it is August 28th. So it's not going to be done by the end of this month, I know, because we still have some other stuff going on. But definitely by the time we are in the cool fall weather, this baby will be ready to go. And I am super excited. I shouldn't be the excited one because this is actually for my husband. And he is also very excited, but I am excited to steal this sweater and wear it with leggings and be really cozy. So there's my sweater. It is currently living in this project bag, which is covered in pet hair. But this is an ink bag. I snagged this, I think the bag itself is called like the Hermione bag. I had all of the tags. I don't know if... It's by Industrial Nature Fiber Studios, which you can find on Instagram. I think she's still there at inkbags, INK.bags. I grabbed a couple of things from her shop while we were moving because I saw that she was basically going out of business. I think that she had just done it long enough and there were other things that she needed to do, so she was just having a clearing out sale. And last year for my birthday, a couple of family members actually grabbed a couple of her bags for me for my birthday, and I loved them so much that when I saw that she was having this sale, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do it. And I think the proceeds actually, they went to something which I cannot remember off the top of my head right now. But from her sale, I grabbed this really lovely, it's got a bucket tote? The bottom is square, so it sits up really nice. All of her things have these really cool peekaboo pockets. So you can see this on the inside, and she's a wonderful seamstress. Everything is really secure and it feels heavy duty. You know, if something happens to this and it rips, you know that it's because you were basically taking kitchen scissors to it or something. Like, this thing is not going to damage easily. But it's got these really lovely pockets on the inside. I've got some circulars in there, but it's got a nice big pocket on one side, which stitch markers for things like that. And then on the other side, it's got a narrower pocket. I have to get used to using a monitor again. Sorry, guys. Which I have been putting my double pointed and circular needles in for these projects. And it does have a drawstring, so that's nice to keep everything secure if you are traveling, or if you just have small people who like to investigate what on earth is going on in large bags. Both my kids, they are very aware of the fact that I am a yarnaholic. And they really enjoy when they find my yarn to point out and say, "Yarn! Mommy, this is your yarn. It's very pretty. It's very soft. It's soft yarn. You have very pretty yarn." And I go, "Thank you. You have learned very well." They love the yarns too, and that makes me very happy. So I got this lovely little bucket tote with its peekaboo pocket thing. A much more simple drawstring little bag, which is great for, I guess, little socks and scarves and hats. You can fit 2 hanks about in here if you're just carrying a bunch of stuff around. But if your yarn is caked up, it's obviously you can fit more than that. I don't know why you would need to have quite that much in a smaller size bag, but if you do, you can. And then this is a little zipper pouch for all your little various items. So it's got a back pocket, and then it does have a little tiny front pocket for all of your notions and whatnot. Again, with her little peekaboo things. So fun, so beautiful. I want to say that her, again, covered in cat hair, because my cats have a lot of hair and like to sleep on all of my stuff. And I can't close doors because they're sneaky, and I just don't want to accidentally close a door if they're in a room and find unpleasantness waiting for me. So, but I want to say that her shtick is using natural fibers, possibly naturally dyed fabric for all of her bags. And if you can still find some of these, I bought these on Etsy, and if you can still find some, if she still has some in the shop, if she hasn't completely closed up, like, grab a couple, because they're just so well made and they're wonderful. So there's my fun little, I haven't bought a lot of stuff in the past couple of months because chaos. So that was my sweater. That's my work in progress. Well, I mean, I have a few other ones. I'm really sorry, but the rest of this is going to be socks on socks on socks. Tea break. I'm drinking this out of my Wawa mug. For those of you who don't know what Wawa is, it is a big kind of, it's not, I mean, they do food. It's not a fast food. It's like a convenience chain all through New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And I definitely turned my nose up at it for a while because the thought of eating food that comes from a convenience store or coffee, like gas station coffee, just didn't sound like it actually would be any good. And oh my goodness, can I just say I was completely wrong, and their food is amazing and their coffee is delicious. And if you happen to be passing a Wawa and need either food or coffee, just go for it. You won't regret it. It's delicious. I don't miss much about New Jersey, but I do miss having Wawa about 3 minutes down the road. So, works in progress. A bunch of socks from like months ago that I don't think I ever finished. And I don't know if I should show them or not. Anyways, I have to now count the months back. I am still attempting to keep up with the box of socks. Am I falling behind a little bit? You betcha. So this, what are we? We're in August. I believe this is supposed to be my July socks. This is the True Friends ankle sock by, let me look at my notes. The True Friends ankle sock by Samantha Roberts. It's a cute little ankle sock, and it's got a beautiful little, it's very delicate. It's got like little eyelets. Little eyelets. And I am using this for the body. It is a colorway called Okanagan Summer. I just did a slip stitch heel. I just went with all the basic things. But Okanagan Summer by Rosehill Yarns. And then for the toe, and it's supposed to have a little tiny, like your cast on row is a contrast color that goes into your toe, but it matches the rest of the yarn so well that you can't really tell. But the toe is a beautiful purple by Laine and Lotus, who I believe is a Connecticut indie dyer, and her yarns are also very beautiful, but they have complemented each other very well. I got this done. I kind of started going crazy and like starting different socks at the same time. It's probably going to come back and bite me in the butt, but you know what? I did it, and now I need to finish this one. I will say, as sweet as these are, this has not been my favorite project, and there really is no reason for it. It's a beautiful pattern. It's just not one that has like grabbed me as far as really enjoying knitting it so much that I just can't put it down. And there's really no reason. It just is, it's just one of those things. So I'm glad that I am making these, and they are beautiful, but they just are not flying off my needles for whatever reason. Who's to say why? I don't know. Anyways, I really have liked this though. I think they've come out very pretty. So those are my July socks. So halfway through those. And I started just a few days ago. I'm trying to remember now. I think it was last Thursday. You'll have to pardon me because this is in black and white. But a while ago I found this pattern for the Gazebra socks. And they are just really pretty. So it's a pattern by Charlotte Bory. And it's got all this beautiful lace detail. And then just the body of the sock is just pretty vanilla, but the cuff and the leg just have all this beautiful detail. And obviously, like your eye is just drawn to just the simple is simple, but it's intriguing. So I just started those, I want to say last Thursday, and I was a little bit nervous because I've never done lace work before. So I was really hoping I wasn't getting myself into something that I could not handle. And I will say that it wasn't hard. Obviously, like with anything, you need to pay attention and watch what you're doing. But it wasn't as scary as I was hyping it up to be in my head. Thankfully. So, I actually am done with the decrease for the gusset. But here is the first one. I was really surprised how quickly it worked up. The chart was really quite easy to follow. I had 1 or 2 false starts going from the cuff into the lace work. And that was all me because, moral of the story, Emily, trust the pattern. Just do what the pattern says and it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. I don't know if anybody else needs to hear that, but I needed to hear it again. Trust the darn pattern. They know what they're doing. And I'm not a pattern designer, so what do I know? But it all worked out okay. It all worked out fine. And it's, guys, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. So for the top, for this leg part, it's a twisted rib, which just flows so beautifully into the lace work. I used the colorway Mesa by my favorite Fiber for the People. And I believe it's a 2-ply twist merino nylon. And I think back in the day, Taylor on her site, when she would actually give her yarn bases names instead of just going by just the actual base content, which, I mean, names are really great, but I kind of enjoy just the simplicity and straightforwardness of just being like, this is the 2-ply merino nylon. Okay, I know what I'm getting. Easy, it's in the name. But I think back in the day, she used to call it Taylor's favorite sock yarn. And yeah, this has been a dream to work with, guys. It's so soft. It slides really, really easy. And it's just been, the whole thing has been flying off my needle. The yarn and needle and pattern combination, great. So I have made it to the point in the sock where I switched the color for the toe. Can't really tell because I literally started doing it maybe about half an hour or so before I started cleaning up and getting everything done. But this, I transitioned into another who's coming in. One of my kiddos is at the door.
Yeah. Who wants a Wawa sandwich?
You want a Wawa sandwich?
I don't want it toasted.
You don't want it toasted? You just want cheese on it? Or do you want peanut butter and jelly on your Wawa sandwich?
Peanut butter and jelly on.
Okay, make sure that Daddy knows that you want peanut butter and jelly on your Wawa sandwich.
And under it too, Mom.
And, oh, okay, and under it, okay.
Okay.
Anyways, whew, lunchtime, man. So I started my second color in the sock. And this color is, again, Fiber for the People. Sorry, Taylor, your yarn is covered in pet hair because we have a house full of pets. This is the colorway Kick Drum. And it is also really great. The thing that I really like about these two together, if you actually, I think if you go back a couple of episodes, then my last episode, the episode before that, there's not too many to get through at this point. I hold up the hank of mesa and kick drum next to each other, and side by side, it's almost as if they could be like inverse. They're cousins. It's almost like they're cousins. Where the predominant color for kick drum is black. The predominant color here is kind of this beautiful golden, like ochre color. And they're all mixed with these beautiful bits of kind of a creamy orange and a dusty rose and some rust and some golds and greens, and it just adds for just beautiful, just a beautiful design element. The little colors, they just pop, and I am quite fond of it. So if you are looking for a maybe simple way to get into lace work, I would suggest this. It's been not scary, and I really like it, and I so far am very proud of my socks. So yes, this was the Gazebra sock. I don't know if the designer is on Instagram. She probably is. If you look up her name, it was Charlotte Bory. But flipping through a few of the other patterns that she had on Ravelry, she has a lot of really pretty stuff. So I guess this is technically my August sock, now that we're at the end of August. So really quick, I will show just a couple other pairs of socks that I have finished. I don't have all their mates here because they're currently hiding in the box of socks. But I had these were my April socks. The ends still are not sewn in. But I did these. This was the first one that I did. I can't remember if I showed these already. So if I already did, I apologize. But this again is the Okanagan Summer with the Laine and Lotus Purple. And a Fish Lips Kiss Heel that was a little bit modified. And just for funsies, I did like a little... Where is it? You can't really see. It's just a... Ooh, there we go. Right here. They're not slip stitches. I can't remember what it's called. But it just added a little something. They're just vanilla socks. And then I went into May. And I used... This is just Patton's Croy, which honestly is... I really like Croy. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I personally enjoy it. I like the texture, and not all of the colors are super crazy. I don't love all of the colors, but this one I like. I can't remember the name of it. But for both May and June, I did the pattern called Emily's Favorite Sock by Emily, I believe it's Foden. And it's a pretty basic, it's just a beautiful ribbed sock, and it fits really well. The pattern itself is written to be a more slouchy, kind of workhorse sort of sock. I don't really like it when my socks slouch because I'm just kind of constantly pulling them up. But if you wanted to do that for like boot season, that's a great pattern. And if not, I dug around on the project pages for it until I found someone who had modified it to just be a more fitted ribbed sock. So I did the standard 64 stitches on this one I used a size 2 because that seems to work really well with me for Patton's Croy. But for this one, I used a size 1 and kept the stitch count. This one I did not do the top ribbing This one I have 1x1 rib, and this one I just went straight to the ribbing on the leg. And this one I did an Eye of Partridge heel, which, excuse me, which is really fun. And I really enjoy the look of it. Those are one of those heels though that if I'm going to do it, I definitely need to do it at a time when I'm not going to be distracted, because I lose track of which row I'm on. And just normal toes. The June sock the colorway is Atlas, and it is on a merino nylon cashmere nylon MCN base. And this one is also by Fiber for the People because I'm obsessed. I fangirl hard in this house over Taylor's yarns. She runs her business so well. She is so creative and she's so talented, and she's really great when it comes to yarn support if you have any questions. And if you haven't checked her out, you can find her on Instagram. You can go check her business out at fiberforthepeople.com, and you will not regret it. She has updates frequently, but if you are planning on shopping one of her updates, you need to be logged in ahead of time. And basically it is cutthroat, guys. You just gotta, if there's something you want, you just purchase it right away. There are times that I've had stuff in my cart and I've only been on for 5 minutes and I'm ready to check out, and I've been logged in. All my information is there, all typed in, and stuff will have sold out as I am in the process of finishing my order. So you gotta be fast. You have to be fast. So I think that's pretty much all of my projects that are either completed or in the process of. What else do I have, guys? I have a couple of yarny things, not much, and that's okay. So I bought, pardon me, because I made a skein crown out of these ones because they were just too beautiful, and I'm not going to sit here and attempt to detach them. So right now it just looks like one really long hank. But this is the colorway Verdigris on, I believe it's I don't think it's technically 4-ply, but it's akin to 4-ply. But the sheep that it comes from is called a Polworth, which I had never heard of, and I did a little bit of research, and they're very beautiful sheep. But all sheep are beautiful. They're all cute. But it is also just, it's got a very oceany vibe to me, which is pretty appropriate for where we ended up moving to, and I'm very excited. I have a few things in mind for this. I found a beautiful cardigan called, I believe it's the Ochre Cardigan by Anne Brohim. She is also on Instagram and Ravelry. I'll put her name up underneath, but it's also a really sweet just little cardigan with just a little bit of a lace detail on the cuffs and on the bottom edge. And I just really feel like this would lend itself really well. The other yarny thing I have a few updates ago, this was not a lucky strike. No. A few updates ago for Fiber for the People, I did an impulse buy, which I don't usually do, but this is the color Burnt, and this is on the blue-faced Leicester, and it's also gorgeous. So squishy. Love that orange and just all of the different tones that are in there. And I don't have a specific, this is DK. I don't have a specific project in mind for this. I was thinking I have a bunch of BFL that I have plans for a different sweater. And this may be really pretty mixed in with that, but I have to do some swatching and see. If not, this would just be an absolutely gorgeous, maybe like a very tubular, long, skinny cowl. Lots of slouch and bunch. Maybe. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. And then lastly, this was really cool. Back in May or June, if you go on Instagram, you can find her as Yarrn Matey. I think there's like 3 or 4 R's in there. Lauren at Yarn Matey was doing a giveaway with all these really neat little things. She's got the pirate bug too, guys, and it's pretty great. Yarn and pirates. Yes. So in her giveaway, she had, I think, a few stickers, a really cute button, and some really cool earrings. I never win anything. I very rarely, I mean, I'll tag you back if you put me on a giveaway post, but I never have expectations. Usually if I am tagging you and a few other people, it's because I know you do actually like the types of things that are being in the giveaway, and I want to make sure you know about it. I never expect to win anything. So I was extremely surprised when towards the end of May or early June, Lauren actually messaged me and said, hey, guess what? You won the giveaway. And I was like, what? No way, man. But yes, I did. Happy day. So very shortly afterwards, we had a little back and forth just about what size, or not size, what shape of earrings I preferred. And I went with, they're not teardrop. They're more like, my kids are having fun. They're like, there's a name for it. It's like an oval, but the ends are pointy. So I'm gonna take it out so you can actually see. But these, I don't think she made these. I think she collaborated with somebody, and I will find the name and post it, but they're nice and lightweight. I wasn't sure what they were made out of until I got them in the mail. And I thought maybe they were gonna be, I mean, you can see, I should have known. Let me look at the texture. You can see her, there we go. It's a ball of yarn, but it's got a pirate patch, and it's basically a skull and crossbones, but it's yarn. Anyways, they're fabric, they're lightweight, and it's really great because my ears actually end up getting quite irritated with heavy jewelry now, which is kind of funny because I would wear almost anything when I was younger. Anyways, so the package showed up with these beautiful earrings, along with, there were quite a few fun things. There was actually a pirate patch in there too, but that was very quickly commandeered by my 3.5-year-old, who doesn't really understand pirates exactly, but he knows that they were patches. So he's a pirate some days. So I don't have the pirate patch, but you get the idea. So it all came in this cute little, I'm dropping things. Cute little thing. It came with a few pirate temporary tattoos, which now that I remember that I have these, we're gonna have fun with those later. A Yarn Matey sticker. 3 R's, guys, it's 3 R's. Yarn Matey. Which at some point I will be getting a new laptop, and I probably will start a wonderful crafty sticker collection on it. This is her card. So go check her out. She is awesome. And, oh yes, this is, oh, one more sticker. Like, look guys, just look at that. It's great. This is the maker of the earrings. I can't read that, I'm sorry. Fernwehkw. I'll link her name. Forgive me. And last but not least, I haven't done buttons in a long time, but boy, do I love a good button. So it's got her logo. So I was very happily surprised. Also, I just want to point out that they're not, I mean, they could be knitting needles, I guess. But honestly, guys, these are crochet hooks. So shout out to the crocheters. I mean, I crochet, but I definitely don't crochet as much as I knit. But I do love me a good crochet. So hey, love the inclusivity here. Because crocheters can use the fancy yarn and do the cool things just as much as the knitters do. So that was my fun little surprise that I got. Yay for Happy Mail in a time in my life when I feel like all the mail that we get as adults are not so happy or really boring. So that was a really, really nice treat. I really hope that I can get another one of these episodes out sooner. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me as my little family went through a big change. I really appreciate it. And until I see you again, enjoy your crafting.